Hello and welcome to another edition of Another Book Review. This week I'll be reviewing The Song of Troy by Colleen McCullough. I'll talk very briefly about the author, give a spoiler-free overview of the plot, talk about what I liked about the book, what I didn't like about the book, who I'd recommend the book to, and finish it off with what I'll be reading for next time. Colleen McCullough is an Australian author. Unfortunately, she passed away a few years ago, but she's best known for writing a book called The Thornbirds, which sold like 30 million copies worldwide. Went on to become a pretty famous mini-series. This is the first stuff of hers that I've read, The Song of Troy. And what this is essentially her telling of the Trojan War from the very beginning of the events that led up to it all the way to the sacking of Troy. Very similar to, I reviewed a book for this channel, the Songs of Kings, I believe it's called. I'll leave a link to the description below if you're interested in kind of Trojan War historical fiction. This one is pretty good. She does a very thorough job. She has kind of an afterword in the back that kind of shows that the amount of research that she did. She uses Homer as an inspiration. She uses the Iliad, but she also uses a lot of other sources to kind of form her story. And I think that what I liked the most about the book was it was very grounded in the politics of the time. It kind of goes a little bit deeper and takes some of the supernatural elements out of the story. It's going to be good or bad depending on your taste, but I think she kind of grounds it in kind of a political struggle between these two kingdoms. She also has a theme that runs throughout the book of the old gods versus the new gods, which I thought was interesting. And I think the characterizations that she has for the characters, for the most part, is pretty good. Her Odysseus, Ulysses, depending on what source you're reading, is really interesting. He is very much a crafter, and watching him in kind of his schemes, as it were, is probably the funnest part of the book. I think of the things that I didn't like as much. While I think the characters are really well developed, the structure of the book is that each chapter is told first person from one character's point of view, and after a while I think the voices kind of merge together. So while there are characters in the novel who all have kind of distinct roles in the story, it was after time the inside of the character felt similar from one character to another. The writing felt very similar from one to another. There's also no list of characters in the book, and there are many characters if you've read any kind of story of the Trojan War in the past. So it's very easy to get kind of confused. The names, if you're not familiar with that culture, sound the same a lot of the times, and so it was very easy to get confused from the characters. Those were really it. I think if you don't have any pre-existing knowledge of the Trojan War, this is maybe not the place to start. I would maybe start with something like The Songs of Kings. There was a comic book as well, a graphic novel, that I don't think is finished. It's actually pretty good, but I don't have that in front of me, so I can't recommend what that is. I also wouldn't recommend this to someone who doesn't necessarily like war or stories about that are bloody. There is one or two instances of sexual assault in the book. So if those things all kind of turn you off, then this is probably not the book for you. I do think it was well written, and it was maybe a little bit long, but other than that, I really did enjoy it. If you're looking for kind of a historical take on the Trojan War, I would definitely give The Song of Troy a look. So until next time, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, bye.